Thanks for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. To the papers right away. We are looking at the Leadership Friday. That's how we start off at the moment. Alleged terrorism financing, Labour talks tough after Jairo's visits to police. Say we will not be intimidated. The NLC president is also quoted as saying external pressure behind his travail. Sharia Commission invites cleric over gay meeting. 1,166 terrorists killed, 721 hostages rescued in August, says DHQ. Nigeria accepts crypto, grants 2 operators interim approvals. Also, EFCC arrests syndicate impersonating Olukoyede in an alleged $1 million fraud. Next is Daily News Hub. My PA was murdered. That's just beside the, I beg your pardon, that's just beside the masthead now. My PA was murdered. 3 relatives still in DSS custody. IPOB lawyer tells new DSS boss. What police told NLC president Jairo during grilling. That's the lead story, which goes on to add that NLC president says labor is worth dying for. Tinubu departs for China on official visit. I cannot be deported. Canadian-Nigerian woman threatening Yoruba Benin people with poison boasts. Champion League draw confirmed. Full fixtures are also included. Akwa Ibom State Police Commissioner, Akwa Ibom Police Commissioner Waheed Ayilara dies in Lagos. Alpha Mosigwe sworn in as new NBA president. These and more on Daily News Hub. Let's check out the Daily Times now. NLC cannot be intimidated, says Jairo after police interrogation. He adds NLC remains committed to defending the rights of Nigerian workers. We no longer eat 3 square meals. Kaduna residents lament. One strike will evoke the no work, no pay policy federal government tells resident doctors. And FCCPC gives Nigerian traders 1 month to slash prices or face penalties in the face of the worrying trend of inflation. All right, First News reads, 55,910 persons killed, 21,000 abducted in 4 years as report reveal alarming toll of terrorism and kidnapping in Nigeria. It goes on to add 1.04 billion naira paid to kidnappers as ransom in 1 year. Other stories on First News. Court dismisses suit against End Bad Governance protesters. FG hands traders 1 month to crash prices of food. The Tigress make history as first African team to break into FIBA top 10. Food flood fears. Anambra activates 27 IDP camps. And man jailed 9 months for stealing 2 tubers of yam. Daily Trust reads, Nigerians paid 1.04 billion naira ransom to kidnappers in 1 year. Still on that report, ex-DSS boss wants emergency declared on security. CBN report warns of rising financial strain for Nigerians. Crash food prices in 1 month, FG tells traders. And students seek review of federal government's 18-year admission eligibility. The Punch reads, it's leading with a story on presidential fleet. It says 200 families displaced as Nigerian Air Force demolishes houses. Soldiers deployed in sight. Property owners demand compensation. FG silent. Jairo honors police summons false terrorism allegation. Buttock enlargement doctor declared wanted as client dies during surgery. It reportedly occurred in Lagos. Canada ends visitor to work permit policy. On governors' jobs bazaar, states' wages rise by 900 billion naira. NYSC bars poly graduates without IT experience. Finally, with me is The Nation. 50% electricity subsidy for varsities and teaching hospitals. President gives approval, says Minister. Striking doctors risk losing pay as FG threatens to invoke the no work, no pay rule. Manufacturing gets 74 billion naira to boost production. Canada bars visiting visa holders from work permit And as the new NBA president emerges with Afamosigwe saying the rule of law must serve all. Ibraheem.
Right, the first with me here is a New Telegraph. Striking doctors will invoke no work, no pay, says federal government. Reiterate it's been working with NSA, others to ensure immediate safe rescue of Dr. Popwola, to provide 50% electricity subsidy for public hospitals, varsities, others. Ajaero to police. NLC can't be intimidated. We have nothing to hide. Nigeria kidnappers collected 1.048 billion naira ransom in 1 year. That's according to reports. Terrorism will end day. Nigerians say no to it. That's the defense headquarters. Tinubu leaves for China on official visit. CBN report puts debt service costs at $2.78 billion in 7 months. And on the bottom strip, study links greater alcohol intake to gout risk. Next is Nigeria News Direct. Traders frustrating economic stability with exploitative pricing. That's according to FCCPC. Issues 1 month moratorium for traders to desist from act. Era of darkness has come to an end in Osun. Governor Adeleke flags off construction of 33 kV feeder line, 11 years abandoned project. Ondo 2024, transport workers endorse Governor Aiyedatiwa. Nigeria to host African Data Protection Conference in 2025. Election, APC will reclaim Edo, expand in southeast, capture all 36 states. Ganduje. NDLEA intercepts 60 bags of cannabis in Lagos, promotes officers for successful waterways operation. Next is Blueprint newspaper. Crash food prices in 1 month of phase sanction. Federal government warns retailers. Import charges, high bank interest, rent increments are challenged. That's traders. Edo Goba. Parties to sign peace accord. September the 12th. IPAC urges neutrality. Ganduje threatens NSEC with lawsuit over Enugu APC factions. Tinubu urges Nigeria, Brazil collaboration on aviation. 500 billion naira TED fund varsity intervention in CBN unaccessed. That's according to reps. Police didn't question Ajaero on terrorism, treason. That's the lawyer. 4 suspects arrested over use of EFCC chair's name to extort $1 million. Blueprint loses head agric desk John Oba. Above the masthead, troops neutralized 1,166, arrested 1,096 suspects. August. That's according to Defense Headquarters. The Guardian newspaper is next. Living in Abuja, the making of a capital city of gross inequality, rags, riches. Federal government gives traders 1 month to crash prices of goods. Government increases SUBEB matching grants to 3.5 billion naira. Afe Babalola cautions against 18 years limit for WAEC NECO. Foreign inflow down by 57.22% as investors appraise portfolio. Over 55,910 civilians killed in Nigeria in 4 years, says report. Doctor strike. Federal government threatens to invoke no work, no pay rule. Next is Platform Times. Lagos, Ogun. 4 other southwest states shared 4.03 billion naira ecological funds in 6 months. We're capturing Edo, southeastern states. APC National Chairman Ganduje. Police invitation. I don't mind dying for labor movements. Ajaero. Sack other overaged government officials like ex-DSS DG Yusuf Bichi. Lawyer tells Tinubu. Court strikes out suit against end bad governance. Protesters, IGP, DSS, others. And above the nameplate, Nigeria generates $2.7 billion revenue from non-oil exports in first half of 2024. Ogun 2024 local government elections to use manual collation process, says Ogziek. Plans on the way to generate electricity in Osun, Governor Adeleke. We've not approved 70,000 naira as new minimum wage. That's Yobe State. Next is Nature News. Nestle to dig 24 boreholes in north-central southwest Nigeria. Worst drought in 100 years, Namibia to kill over 700 elephants, hippos, zebras. 125 animals already killed for human consumption. GEF commits $3.28 million as NAGGW tackles land degradation in Kemi. Urban shelters bolsters Kaduna housing sector with 200 hectares project. Kamic profiles solutions for soil contamination across Africa. Fact check, can milk and garlic combination rid you of stomach worms? You can read that up on from the newspaper Nature News. Last but not least is the Nation Sporting Life. Inter versus Atlanta. Lookman to play first Serie A game today. 2025 AFCON qualifier. Raw invites 25 cheaters to feast on Eagles. Chelsea deal. Osimhen agrees €350,000 weekly wage, but Saudi clubs remain in race. Liverpool signed Chiesa for £12.5 million. Guardiola spent £700,000 on Man City staff. Arsenal exploring late swoop for Coman. Lukaku seals permanent exit from Chelsea. That's about it for the newspapers up for review this morning.
Right. Of course, among the stories that we just saw now in the papers, what must, definitely come as, perhaps a form of hope, hopefully much more than that, will be the issue of the price fixing, which the federal government is now set to tackle.
That's right.
That seemed to reflect across several of the papers we saw. The government saying it's giving trade as especially a month now to regulate, or rather to, bring down the prices, because this move by the government, it says, came after, checks. They themselves went to the market to see things for themselves. According to the FCCPC boss, Tuji Bello, he said they went to a particular supermarket. A particular blender was being sold for 900,000 naira, more than 900,000 naira. Incidentally, that same product was sold abroad at about the same time, according to the agency, for about 150,000 naira. You can imagine that at the same, supermarket in Nigeria, weeks before, the price was initially lower, and then they brought it up. And you can talk about that. Now, that's a blender. But then what about the essentials, foodstuff, and the like? We see that are basic. These are what, everyone eats. And you can just imagine how, these we're getting to hear and see these sharp practices being, carried out.
To me, I see it as man humanity to man. When you see traders, you see retailers, you see marketers, just indiscriminately increasing the prices of goods and services, it doesn't really make any sense, because why do we have to do this? When the subsidy was removed, okay, we understand that some things will change. At about that time, things were just quite normal, and then later on we started seeing some people hoarding. We started seeing people jacking up the price. Imagine the price of Gary, is it imported? And then you'll be talking to the traders, they'll tell you dollar has gone up. You talk about, there was this experience that I shared one time ago, Ilepo Pleasure here, where a woman who was selling jute leaves, that's the way to, okay, she said she would make, that selling it for 100 naira, she is fine selling it for 100 naira, and with that, she would make a profit. But she was told by the market association, exactly, last month, she was told by the market association that she has to sell it, she must sell it for 200 naira, because that's the price they decided to fix. So I feel this is coming a bit late, quite late, but then it's better late than never, especially after the Oni of Ife, give that directive that any marketers, in fact, it actually banned the association. I didn't want to see that, and I believe that's just the way to go. The associations are not helping. If they are not helping, it's freedom to associate. But if they are not helping at all, then they should be banned. It should be government out into the gutters.
It's just sad that the government has to come in at this point. We should really be able to talk to ourselves and not exploit people, as you've said it all, and not exploit people. Let's hope to see much more of these positive interventions from the government and indeed elsewhere.